What's good, beautiful people? Alright, when an evil mother realizes she's been caught. She did it.
Police. I don't know. This house is big. I don't know where my little cousin at. So can you please?
Where is the 3-month-old baby?
The baby is on my mama's kitchen counter with his head smashed. Now I need you to please send me.
Okay, is it a male or female?
Know where my little cousin is at. Now if a little girl pop up with a weapon, I'm not gonna have a little cousin no more. So can you please? I know it's hard to talk. Can you please just send the police?
As disturbing as this find was,
Oh,
there was
God.
something even more terrifying lurking nearby. The killer was hiding somewhere in the house.
What?
Look,
Is the baby breathing?
listen, lady. The baby is deceased.
Okay. All right, we're setting the police and an ambulance, okay?
Mama.
What is your name, sir?
Mama. Shush. Hello.
What is your name?
I'm Robert Stewart.
20-year-old Deasia Watkins and her boyfriend James Brown welcomed their healthy baby girl Janiyah Watkins on December 4th, 2014. At first, everything seemed to be going well for the couple. Deasia was excited to become a mother, and after a tough childhood of her own, she vowed to give her child the love she'd never received.
It's typical
But
Val.
no one would have ever predicted the sheer horror that lay ahead.
Talk to me.
It all began when Cheviot police were dispatched to the apartment where the family was living on January 25th, 2015, around midnight.
2015?
Upon hearing Deasia's screams and baby Janiyah's cries, multiple neighbors had become very concerned and placed 911 calls.
Alright.
Police soon arrived at the residence. However, Deasia refused to open the door. When officers threatened to force entry into the apartment, a young man opened the door, who was soon determined to be James' cousin, Chris Gully. Right away, members of law enforcement detected a strong odor of marijuana and noted Deasia's behavior seemed erratic. According to official case notes, as an officer tried to take Janiyah out of Deasia's arms in fear for the baby's safety, Deasia allegedly attempted to choke Janiyah, who was only a mere 7 weeks of age. EMTs were called to the scene to perform welfare checks on both Deasia and Janiyah. They eventually managed to take Janiyah, and Deasia immediately passed out on the floor, though the cause of her having lost consciousness is unknown.
Shorty, why
She
would
was soon
you?
moved to Deaconess Hospital for psychiatric care, where she would remain on a 72-hour investigative hold.
What's up,
By
Shorty?
the following day, her diagnosis had been established. She was suffering from postpartum psychosis. In addition, marijuana was found in her system, though she denied using it initially.
What is
She was
postpartum
placed
psychosis?
on an antipsychotic medication. Due to side effects associated with the medication, Deasia was informed that she would have to discontinue nursing Janiyah.
Damn.
And based on Deasia's behavior, staff expressed concern to the caseworker that Deasia didn't seem to be grasping the seriousness of the situation. According to case notes, they felt that she was minimizing the incident, as she described it as no big deal.
That's never not.
By
Like, that's
January
not good at
30th,
all.
Deasia had returned to the apartment, and a safety plan was officially in place.
Hold on.
She was allowed supervised contact.
But I'm saying though, like she was allowed. Hold on.
Janiyah, provided Deasia took her prescribed medication.
Okay.
And that either James or his sister Jaleisha was present at all times. But a visit from the caseworker reinforced the fact that Deasia wasn't on board with the plan. She hadn't filled the prescription for her antipsychotic medication. The caseworker reiterated that it was imperative Deasia take her medication, or it wouldn't be safe for Janiyah to stay in the home. James made it clear that she'd have to leave the home if she didn't comply, as the apartment lease was allegedly under his name. Deasia reluctantly agreed. She didn't want to be separated from Janiyah, and in addition, she felt she had nowhere else to go.
Oh, this is bad.
Of course, soon these concerns would no longer be relevant, as disaster was lurking just around the corner.
This is like
1 week later, a caseworker completed an unannounced visit at the residence and was unable to verify if Deasia had filled her prescription.
It's over. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah. Yeah. It's over. You're done.
I ain't gonna lie, Shorty needs some more guidance, bro.
Just around the corner. 1 week later, a caseworker completed an unannounced visit at the residence and was unable to verify if Deasia had filled her prescription. Over the next couple of weeks, everything continued to deteriorate.
Bro, why didn't they remove the jit from this
Deasia had abandoned the
environment?
apartment and moved in with an aunt. It was clear that the current situation wasn't working.
Where's the baby?
And it was about to become exponentially worse. Custody proceedings began on March 6th.
What are these damn words?
As paternity had not been established and a mental health assessment needed to be completed on Deasia, the magistrate who presided over the hearing granted custody to the Hamilton County Department of Job and Family Services. During the interim, Janiyah was placed in the care of Deborah Stewart, Deasia's aunt. Neither James nor Deasia were allowed to see Janiyah, and Deborah agreed to the terms.
It's good.
During the caseworker's visit to her home, she confirmed that she'd not allowed Deasia contact with Janiyah. She was adhering to the agreement, and baby Janiyah was thriving.
As expected.
But in actuality, things weren't at all as they appeared to be.
Oh my God.
Nor as Deborah claimed them to be.
Yo.
You see, Deasia had been spending time with Janiyah. A lot of time, actually. She'd moved into Deborah's home days earlier.
Deborah was
coping with
capping?
her own personal issues and health problems. Caring for a baby on her own was just too much to handle. So Deborah allowed Deasia to stay, despite the fact that she'd explicitly agreed not to allow her contact.
Bro, nobody cared about this baby for real, bro? Is that what you're really trying to tell me? Are you serious right now? Like, they clearly established that this Deasia shorty is tripping mentally. I'm talking about like shorty brain is smooth. And they want her to still take care of a child? What that sound like to you? That sound crazy to me, I ain't gonna lie to you. Shorty look like a pterodactyl, bro.
Much to handle. So Deborah allowed Deasia to stay, despite the fact that she'd explicitly agreed not to allow her contact with Janiyah.
Like she chomping stuff.
3 days after the caseworker's
Head
visit,
ass.
a life came to a shockingly brutal end within the confines of Deborah's walls.
Damn, bro.
A dispatcher received the frantic 911 call early that morning.
Thanks so much for being here, Robert.
Sunshine, I want emergency address of your emergency.
Somebody please send the police. Please. Oh,
What is the address?
help me. 5957 Wildwood.
Okay, ma'am.
Lord, help me. Oh,
Ma'am, who were you just you were just talking to somebody. Who were you just talking to?
My son, he came over here. He found I was asleep.
Ma'am, you weren't crying but I heard you talking to him. You were fine. And then when I picked up, you started crying. I need you to tell me what's going on.
The dispatcher is trying to make sense of the situation, but so far, nothing is adding up.
Like what?
The skepticism is evident.
On God it is, and it's beautiful.
God, help me.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I need you to stop crying, okay? Stop crying. I need you to help. I need you to take a deep breath and tell me what happened.
All I know is my son came in here and woke me up and said, Mama, the baby's dead. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Here, talk to my son, brother. Come talk to my kid.
I ain't gonna lie.
The baby.
I ain't gonna lie, Deborah.
Along with his children just minutes earlier. It was his youngest child who had arrived in the kitchen first and bore witness to the terribly gruesome scene. Robert had immediately ushered his children out of the house to safety, then re-entered, desperate to locate his mother, Deborah.
Hello?
What happened?
Police. I don't know. This house is big. I don't know where my little cousin is. So can you please...
Where is the 3-month-old baby?
The baby is on my mama's kitchen counter.
Deasia was nowhere to be found, and Robert feared she might have been in danger or had potentially been killed as well.
Okay, I need to know what happened to the baby.
I don't know what happened to the baby. I came into the house. She told me. Came into the house. The baby was on the counter. My mom was in the bed asleep. I woke my mom up and we calling you. That's all I know. I don't know nothing else.
Okay. Listen to me.
Look,
Is the baby breathing?
listen, lady. The baby is deceased.
The first 2 officers arrived a few minutes later and immediately entered the home. One officer made his way to the kitchen and quickly confirmed that baby Janiyah was deceased.
I mean, head smash kind of like
Simultaneously, the
is an
second
indicator
officer
that
located
like
Deborah in the bathroom of the master bedroom. Officers on scene radioed for additional officers to assist. Amidst the chaos and confusion, a few officers cleared the home and, in the process, they located Deasia. She was in the bed in her room, tucked under the covers, though her hair remained visible. Officers pulled the covers back, and Deasia, without so much as a word, was handcuffed and moved to the hallway and remained under the watch of another responding officer.
What, shawty?
The rest of the home was cleared without incident.
You're done. You're done. You're
As
literally
Deborah's
done.
house had become a crime scene that would require thorough processing, the parties were moved to the Criminal Investigation
Oh my
Section,
gosh,
known as
yes.
CIS, at the local Cincinnati police station.
Please talk to her, bro.
It was there that everything began to unfold, but it would take some time to get to the horrendous truth hidden beneath a cluster of outrageous lies.
Stop! Stop. She could really be sad though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not sure yet, but I'm not really falling for it, bro. I'm not feeling it.
I'm moving this side. Make it easier.
Kill me, somebody help me. Somebody help me.
What does you want me to help you do?
Like,
Bring back
bro.
You know that. You go to, and what
Can't take this.
and what about us? And what about your kids?
I can't.
What about your kids?
What is she talking about,
You
bro?
being real selfish.
No, I'm not.
And nothing you can do. You trying to help.
Bro, the audio is hurting my ears, number one. Two, shorty, what is she even talking about? Three, why she got on that puffer jacket in this type of environment? Four, what are they, like, what is she talking about? All that crying you supposedly doing, you not sweating?
You being real selfish.
No, I'm not.
There ain't nothing you can do. You trying to help. There ain't nothing you can do. Listen. Take this tissue.
Deborah's
she-
gut-wrenching cries can be heard from the nearby room where Deasia is seated, waiting for detectives to enter. Meanwhile, Deborah is beyond inconsolable.
I don't know if y'all can tell. let me just clarify what that meant right there. Shuddy's head is cooked. Like she's not there, bro. Or she's just so messed up that she might as well not be there. Nah. And also, Deborah, first I was feeling sympathetic because the narrator talking about some Deborah's gut-wrenching cries, but Deborah is part of the reason why Janiyah is dead, so I don't care. I don't care about Deborah's gut-wrenching cries.
Cries can be heard from the nearby room where Deasia is seated, waiting for detectives to enter.
I ain't gonna lie. She's giving me like
Meanwhile,
Gotham
Deborah
villain
is
type.
beyond inconsolable.
Like Batman needs to go ahead and
I can't take it. I don't think I can
handle
live
that.
through this. I don't think I can live through this. Oh God, I can't live through this. Oh, no. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, baby.
My name's Jen.
Stop.
Baby.
Stop.
That boy, baby.
Stop.
That boy, baby.
More than 2 hours pass before detectives enter the room where a stoic Deasia remains seated.
Hi. Are you Dee Dee? My name's Jen. This is Jake. Are you handcuffed? Would you be more comfortable if I took those off?
I don't.
Right away, Deasia sets the tone for the interview. She doesn't speak or respond to detectives.
I would.
What hand do you write with?
You right or left-handed? Are you right or left-handed so I can uncuff the other hand? Just forget it. Jake's gonna read something to you, okay? Just pay attention to him.
All right.
The detective reads Deasia her Miranda rights.
Do you understand all that? Do you understand what I read to you, or do you have any questions on it?
I ain't gonna lie. Like,
Do you not want to talk to us?
like,
Dee Dee,
You okay? Do you not want to talk to us at all?
Dee Dee. How do you spell your name? Spell your name. I can't help you if you don't talk to me. Okay? I want to make sure you get the help that you need, and I can't do that without even knowing who you are.
I ain't gonna lie,
All I
shawty.
know is you go by Dee Dee.
She's gonna bite you, like.
So how do you spell your name?
But Deasia refuses to sign off on the form to acknowledge that she has received and understands her rights.
So what happened now?
We're gonna take some pictures of you, okay? And we're gonna do some other clothes. I would like to sit down and talk with you.
Some prison
And be able to
clothes.
see what you need that we can help you with. But I can't do that unless you talk back to me.
Psychiatric
Despite the
clothes, really.
detectives' efforts to elicit a response from Deasia, they are unsuccessful. Shortly thereafter, a team arrives to handle photographs.
Did you go ahead and stand up? Stand up. You have gloves on? Yeah. Make her stand up.
Go ahead and stand up.
Get this on.
Let's do some pictures right now. Just
Sure.
can you properly them right there.
Bro.
Several minutes later, the photographs have been taken, and
What?
Deasia's clothing has been confiscated and
What the hell
retained as
was she
potential
even
evidence.
like wearing, bro?
You drink any of your water?
Upon re-entering the room, the detectives continue to run through the gamut of classic interrogation tactics, but each proves ineffective. Nearly 6 hours in, they've gotten nowhere with Deasia, and the meeting comes to an end.
Damn.
After the unavailing attempt to gain information from Deasia, she was transported to Deaconess Psychiatric Unit, where, yet again, she received treatment and was kept for observation.
What?
3 days later, she's back at the station, seated in front of detectives. And as you're about to see, this interview is in stark contrast to the one that took place previously.
Okay.
You
Like,
handcuffed?
she said something.
Take them off. You left or right-handed? Right-handed? And I'm going to read you a form here in a second.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to sign it saying that I read it off to you and that you understand what's on it. Okay.
Once again, the detective reads Deasia her rights. This time around, she signs the form, acknowledging that she has received and understands her Miranda rights.
Interesting.
After some general questions, the detectives begin to work toward untangling the terrible mess that led to an unthinkable tragedy.
So we're here to talk to you about the stuff that happened the other day. What I'd like to do is just go back, okay, way before any of that. We talked to James a little bit. You know, how'd you guys become boyfriend-girlfriend?
We just got to know each other first.
Okay.
How long ago did you
I remember
guys get that
James.
place together? Was that before you were pregnant or while you were pregnant?
I was pregnant.
Was he working anywhere?
Yes.
Where did he work at?
McDonald's.
At some point, once you had the child, you guys went back to the house where you and James were staying together, right? So you guys went back there after you left the hospital? Okay. At some point in January, the police were called to that house there. Do you remember all that?
No.
You don't remember that very well? Do you remember after the police were called there? Like at that point, they had taken you up to the hospital then, had you evaluated, and then you were able to go back home? Do you remember all that? Well, at some point, after I talked to James, he said that you moved out of that place and went and stayed with one of your aunts. Which aunt did you go to stay with?
My name is Debbie.
Aunt Debbie?
During Deborah's interview 3 days earlier,
Yeah.
her sister Cindy assisted in answering questions posed by the detective and addressed this very topic.
She called my sister one day about a couple of weeks ago, asking could she come and get her. My sister, she's sick, she can't see. My sister said, I can't drive, I shouldn't be driving because I'm sick right now. She was crying so hard, like, please, Aunt Debbie, come and get me. And she went and got her.
So she came, according to James, she came and helped pack you up and help move your stuff over there?
Yes.
Okay, so you were staying there, like, during while the stuff was going on with the court. between you and the baby and James. Like they're trying to establish him as the father. Why wasn't he on the birth certificate? Did you guys have some type of fight or? No.
His ID had expired. He had his ID, but since it was expired, they say they couldn't do it.
So he couldn't sign the birth certificate because of that? Okay.
Though James had expressed his fear that Janiyah could potentially be taken from him due to this unfortunate issue, he'd failed to file for custody. The detective shifts to another important subject.
When you went to stay with your aunt, were you taking medication then?
Sure.
Weren't taking any medication? Were you supposed to be taking some?
Yeah.
Or why didn't you want to take it? Just didn't? Okay. How long were you staying there before the baby came and stayed there?
2 weeks.
And then the court gave custody to your Aunt Debbie, right?
Yes.
While it appears that
here's my thing though, right? If did the court not pull up to Aunt Debbie's house to see if Deja was staying there though? Like, I may not know all the details, but from what I'm seeing so far, there's a lot of carelessness that went on that led to a baby dying, bro. And it's saddening.
How long were you staying there before the baby came and stayed there?
2 weeks.
And then the court gave custody to your Aunt Debbie, right?
Yes.
While it appears that Deja is clearly under suspicion, perhaps not everything is as it seems.
Oh?
I was down there talking to one lawyer. I come back and they don't talk to her into getting the baby. And my niece and them, they talked her into getting the baby, hit her lawyer, and I didn't know what was going on. I just said we all pitch in and help, because I work. And she's retired, so I said, well, I'll pitch in. Well, I was like, no, we want the baby. We don't want her to go in a foster home.
Cindy explained that her sister Deborah was hesitant to take on the responsibility of caring for Janiyah. It seemed she felt obligated to head the effort, though she wasn't equipped to handle everything that came along with it.
So why didn't she say that?
Maybe that had an impact on an extreme action she'd take in a matter of just a split second. One she'd come to desperately regret.
She got the baby, and that's what they going on. Yes, she was supposed to be around the baby, so.
Supposed to be around the baby, that was one of the rules.
Yeah.
That's what I see my baby.
Before you ended up with the police, how long were you there with the baby?
8.
About 8 days? Okay. So the night the police ended up getting called to the house,
my God,
we
bro.
talked to your aunt, Debbie, and she said when she went to bed that she gave you the baby. She said her eye was hurting her real bad. She was trying to take her medication. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. And she said she passed the baby off to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
And with this line of questioning, everything begins to shift in an unnerving direction.
I thought it did that already.
All this happened when the police came, and you had the baby in your room. Was the baby sleeping in a crib, in the bed with you, in the chair? Where was the baby at?
The crib.
It was in a crib in your room?
Yes.
One of the things we saw in the bedroom was a broken lamp. Do you remember how the lamp got broken?
No.
Obviously, at some point, something bad happened with the baby. Okay? Do you remember what happened?
No.
How did the baby get into the kitchen?
I don't know.
Do you think Aunt Debbie did something to the baby?
Yes.
You think it was Aunt Debbie?
Yes.
What do you think she did?
No.
The idea was unfathomable, but the alternative was even more unimaginable. Aside from Janiyah.
Now, come on now. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Shorty is the one with the psychosis issues. Of course you killed her, Deja. Like, talking about some no. Oh, but did you think Aunt Debbie killed her? Yes. Yeah, 100%. Stop.
Deja and Deborah were seemingly the only individuals in the home around the time that the terror ensued. Detectives had to explore the possibility that the combination of Deborah's own personal and medical issues, along with the responsibility of caring for a baby, had caused her to snap.
I mean, that could
Perhaps
potentially
Deja's
be it
reality
too.
had truly become a mother's worst nightmare, and her own aunt had taken Janiyah's life.
I can't live with this. Oh my God, just kill me. My fault.
How did you kill her?
Stabbed her.
She stabbed her?
Yeah.
Do you know what she stabbed her with?
The knife because it was right next to her.
The knife was next to the baby?
Oh, the baby hand when I saw it.
The what? I'm sorry?
It was on the baby hand when I saw it.
So you went out there and saw...
No, when I heard her scream.
She hadn't seen the infant's lifeless body. She'd heard Robert's little girl's blood-curdling screams as the child entered the bloodied kitchen, and word of the grisly scene soon made its way through the home. But clearly, things weren't quite adding up.
Yeah.
How do we make that leap from the baby's acting like a normal baby to the point where we end up where it is badly injured and dies in the kitchen? That,
Yeah, like...
you don't know?
Nah, shorty, you do.
Okay. Here's where we're gonna take a little turn. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
The detectives have come to this meeting armed with indisputable evidence.
At
I
what
like
point
that word.
During all this, did you have the knife in your hand?
Of course, the detectives already know the answer to this question. They just need to hear it from Deasia.
Indisputable.
You never had the knife in your hand, so those aren't your fingerprints that are on the knife in there?
Damn.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
So if we pull that up and your fingerprints on that, like, how am I going to explain that then?
Shorty's saying no to her fingerprints? What?
They just stay on there?
You know what I'm saying? My fingerprints not on me.
No, but I'm telling you that they are. I'm saying, how do I explain that?
Should I check in it?
By checking it? Why, we did check it.
That's how I think.
My fingerprints not on me because I didn't touch it.
Okay. Well, you're thinking that your aunt did it, right?
Yeah.
Even though she was completely asleep, had no blood on her, no blood on her hands. You still think she's the one that did it?
Yeah, she sleepwalks.
She sleepwalks?
Yes.
Do you sleepwalk at all?
No.
What?
How should...
Yeah. My sleepwalk ends up with me stabbing people. What? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Some of these excuses is like, what? Like, did you hear yourself say that out loud before you said it? Because I don't think you did. She sleepwalked, and now a baby's dead.
Was completely asleep, had no blood on her, no blood on her hands. You still think she's the one that did it?
Yeah, she sleepwalks.
She sleepwalks?
Yes.
Do you sleepwalk at all?
No.
How should Bill and I explain all the blood and stuff that was all over you?
Nigga, who's Bill? Oh, that other.
You don't know?
No.
Take a guess. What do you think would be a good explanation?
Sleepwalking.
At this point, the detectives are done
Like,
entertaining
what?
Deasia's absurd claims and denials.
She
They
did.
employ some tactics that weren't successful last time around.
Do you know the difference between a bad person versus a bad thing? Like doing a bad thing? Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
So there are people out there who are bad, okay? But there are people out there who aren't bad, who sometimes do bad things. And there's a big difference in that.
Yeah.
And that's just what we're trying to find out.
I ain't gonna lie,
Do
Shorty
you
just,
think
she's
something
just
was
bad,
just
though.
going on that may have caused you to do this?
Yes.
What do you think was going on?
Oh my gosh. Like, you don't even know.
I'm just trying to take my baby.
People were trying to take your baby from you and that upset you?
Yes.
Okay. Did that make you feel like if you did this to the baby, then nobody would take it away from you?
I didn't do nothing to the baby.
But detectives aren't yet able to overcome Deasia's denials, as she continues to claim that she didn't cause Jania's death. They continue at it and try a different approach.
I don't think you wanted anything bad to happen to the baby. I don't think that at all. You wouldn't have kept trying to stay there and be around the baby if you wanted something bad to happen to it. But you would agree that something very bad happened. Okay, and the baby is no longer with us and the baby's dead.
R.I.P. that baby.
Okay.
No, R.I.P. Janiyah. It's not
But the
just
manner
the
in which
baby.
the baby died
Can we?
was caused by somebody with very deep feelings, very strong feelings. There was a lot of angst in what was done. Somebody had very strong feelings towards that baby.
Janiyah.
Okay. And the person I find with the strongest feelings, one way or other, about that baby is you.
Facts. 100%
You
facts.
were the person that had the strongest connection. And what I'm trying to get to the bottom of what happened here, I think a big goal for the police is we want to know exactly what led up to this, what may have caused or what may have led you to react in such a way so that we can help somebody else from not doing it.
This determines whether
if
she's
you
like,
could help another mother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
the stuff that you were suffering from in the postpartum. Wouldn't you want to do that? You know Aunt Debbie didn't do this. You don't want to blame it on Aunt Debbie. That's not going to help.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think I'm getting a little close there with the fact that you just don't want to believe you did it? How do you? So, when you think about Janiyah, how do you feel now?
I feel real sad.
Real sad?
And disappointed.
Why do you feel disappointed?
Because I just lost my daughter and I really love her.
And none of us in here doubt that you loved her. Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, bro, and I could be tripping, and this could be the cynical part of me, but it feels like she's just repeating stuff, bro. I don't feel like she means that for real, for real.
Because I just lost my daughter and I really love her.
And none of us in here doubt that you loved her. Okay? Just because of what happened, that doesn't mean you didn't love her. I want you to tell me what made you upset that night. What started all this?
Definitely didn't love her.
What happens that makes you upset? Nothing upset you.
Yeah.
See, like...
The detective directly confronts Deasia with more evidence.
How did you end up with all this blood on you when the police get there?
I ain't gonna lie, bro, she had the chance to come clean, and I would have looked at her like there's a chance. Like, there's a chance for her to actually become a better human. But she didn't take that chance, so now she just deserves the chair, bro. I have no type of sympathy at all whatsoever for her anymore. Postpartum psychosis, yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I actually don't really. Let me give it a goog. After childbirth. So this happens after childbirth? Why? Why do y'all, what? For what reason? But I'm saying though, like why, does it just happen for every woman?
With all this blood on you when the police get there.
Cause Shorty went crazy.
You don't know?
Yeah.
Well, how would you explain it? If you were the police detectives, how would you explain you with all the blood all over you? Why there's blood all over your room where you were sleeping? Why your fingerprints are on the knife?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
What do you think we think when we see all that?
Like, come on.
That I killed me.
Well,
that
duh.
I killed my daughter.
The detective strategically transitions to the topic of Deasia's loved ones, including James and her family, as he continues to build his case in hopes that something will trigger Deasia to tell the truth.
Yeah, like something is gonna have to.
Do you still have feelings for James?
Something gonna have to crack, bro.
You know what James asked about you?
What?
When I talked to James, he said to me, "Can I go see her while you were at the Deaconess?" And I said, "Well, at this point, we're not letting anybody up there because people are concerned for your own safety from yourself, and they're monitoring you."
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If my wife killed my kid,
up there because people are concerned for your own safety from yourself, and they were monitoring you, and then Bill and I were concerned because we didn't want anybody else up there talking to you yet. But he asked a bunch of times, "Can I go see her? I think I'm the only one that can help her. I think I'm the only one that can get her to open up. I think she'll feel comfortable talking to me." I was impressed with James because given the circumstances of what has happened, I'm not too sure that I would be asking questions about you. He was upset about Janiyah, but he still was concerned about you. The rest of your family asked those same type of questions. Were you surprised to hear that James and your family was asking about you?
Yes.
Okay. And to be honest, I was surprised too. I thought they would be really, really mad at you.
On fact.
But you know why they're not?
On fact.
Why?
Because they don't think you're a bad person either.
On fact.
They don't think you're a bad person.
No. I think she's a horrible person. I think she's a very bad person. She was given the chance to say something when that detective literally threw her a lob and said, would you like to help other mothers suffering through your situation? Shorty said, nah, essentially. Like, you're a bad person, bro. What? And also, I think I'm going to start using that on fact. Like, it's like on God, but on a fact, though, which makes it indisputable. On fact. Yo, I really might start using that, bro.
Really, really mad at you. But do you know why they're not?
Why?
Because they don't think you're a bad person either.
That's not on a fact. I ain't gonna lie to you.
They don't think you're a bad person. We don't think you're a bad person.
I think so.
But we do think that you're responsible for a bad thing.
I think you're bad, and you did the bad thing.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat that or lie to you. And all the evidence and all the facts that we've collected and investigated goes right along the same line. It all points to you being responsible.
The detective explains that she needs to accept responsibility and deal with the consequences.
And we need to move forward from that.
What would be her consequences,
Not just
though?
For the court stuff and for police stuff, but just for the family and everybody else. Aunt Debbie didn't do this sleepwalking, did she?
Like, come on, bro.
No.
No, she didn't. What set this off? What happened? I do want to help you, but I want to help the other people too.
The detective needs to uncover the spark that caused the massive explosion of
Yeah,
violence.
you just need to get us.
But Deasia reverts back to her original claim.
What?
She just doesn't know.
Come on,
the other
bro.
detective chimes in.
Do you understand? Jake's trying to tell you that you're not here because if you did it. We don't. We know that this happened. That you had a part in this. Okay, that you did this. We're just trying to. He's trying to figure out. We're all trying to figure out what was going on, how or why this happened. We know Aunt Debbie didn't do it, and you know that too.
At what point?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Once you got to the kitchen,
Bill, you should have kept it quiet.
what happened once you got there?
Like,
this time, Deasia provides a different answer, and it's unbelievable.
Okay.
I took that money and I said that.
With her admission, less than 40 minutes into the interview, the denials cease. The ugly truth has finally been exposed.
Oh
but it
my.
seems there's likely more to how this all came about. You recall the incident where the police were dispatched to the apartment as a result of cries and screams coming from within that night in late January.
I do recall that,
well,
that
as
incident.
it turns out, it wasn't the first foreboding episode that had occurred within those walls.
Foreboding.
James shared some disturbing details with the caseworker at that initial meeting,
Bro.
shortly after Deasia had been taken off to the hospital for an evaluation. The beginning of 2015, which marked Jania's first month, brought along with it some changes in Deasia. According to James, she began speaking regularly about religion. While that in itself wasn't a cause for alarm, it was out of character for Deasia.
And demons
Her
being
unsettling
present.
behavior included claims that demons were present. There were times she'd be fine one moment, then uncontrollably crying the next. James had managed to capture the audio of one such occurrence as he clutched Jania in his arms, unsure of what else to do.
Let me hear it.
He played the recording for the screener, and a hysterical Deasia could be heard screaming, "Why, God? Why me? What did I do wrong? Who are these demons? Please stop it." According to James, the incident, not unlike the one that occurred just hours earlier, was unprovoked and completely unexpected. That said, Deasia is now about to reveal her version of the slaying that ensued just days earlier.
Slaying,
and she's poised
bro?
to divulge
Come on.
every
Like-
last nauseating detail. Please be advised that the following segment may be too graphic for some viewers.
Hey.
Deasia starts at the beginning.
Hey, you heard that, right? No. Please be advised that the following segment may be too graphic for some viewers.
Too graphic for some viewers. Deasia starts at the beginning.
I took Janiyah, so I changed her diaper. He said, screaming and running. And then I didn't get to change it, so I just threw it past her. He didn't die, so I walked over there and banged her head and looked herself 4 times. Then, after she wasn't dying there, he clipped the big old stick and hit her in the head.
She needs to die. I ain't gonna, on God, like she needs to get killed.
4 times. She wasn't bad. That's when I ran in the kitchen to kill her and raise her off. Took the next one out, stabbed her head, told her to die. Stabbed her to die. She was still.
Fuck this bitch. Oh, this is all out of the carelessness of the people around this fucking child, bro.
Around even after you were stabbing her?
Yes.
What did you do with the knife after that?
Put it in her hand.
Was there a reason that you did that?
Yes.
Why did you put it in her hand?
So it looked like she did it.
So it would look like she did it?
Yes.
You're just
And then
stupid.
what did you do?
I went back around.
Deasia's revolting account is consistent with the evidence found at the scene.
What made you do that? You don't know?
No.
Do you regret what you did? Do you feel bad about
No,
what
she
you
does
did to
not
Janiyah?
feel bad, bro.
Why don't you feel bad?
Just
Do you blame Janiyah for something?
no.
What made you want to kill her?
I don't know.
Do you think you could have just given her to James instead?
Yes. I didn't get in contact with him.
Couldn't get in contact with him?
No.
James, how long before Robert showed up?
A good 15.
I'm sorry,
A good 15.
15 minutes?
Yes.
Did you hear the little kids scream when they came in?
They didn't even scream. The little girl said, the baby.
So you heard all that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
After catching a glimpse of baby Janiyah in such an utterly brutalized state, Robert had to divert his eyes.
What do you see when you look at the child? What?
Look, lady, I don't want to describe the scene. The screen is very, very bad, all right? The little baby head is open. Like, open. I'm not going in there to touch nothing because I don't want to mess nothing up. I'm not going in there to look because I already seen it. But it's very violent. Bro. It's a very violent scene.
We'll be back in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Would you like something to drink or anything?
No.
Water or something?
No.
Detectives exit the room and don't return for any additional questioning.
I hope she gets murdered in psych prison, bro.
Minutes later, Deasia is headed for the Justice Center. Deasia's account confirmed the Hamilton County Coroner's report. Baby Janiyah had sustained stab wounds on both her face and head. When the coroner was asked if she could provide the number of stab wounds, she stated that she'd lost count. Janiyah's right arm was fractured. In addition, her head had indeed been severed from her body, as Deasia so callously described. According to the Hamilton County prosecutor, Job and Family Services did their job. Nevertheless, the haunting case is one you likely can't wrap your head around, and the question of why really wasn't answered.
Like, no.
At least, not completely.
At all,
Deasia's initial plea in response to her aggravated murder charge was not guilty by reason of insanity, but the presiding judge ordered that she receive psychiatric treatment.
No!
It was later determined that she was competent to stand trial upon receiving the required treatment.
Oh?
However, a trial date never came.
Why not?
Deasia Watkins pleaded guilty to the brutal murder of her own infant in February of 2017.
Death?
She received a sentence of 15 years to life in prison, with the possibility of parole at 13 years, as she was given credit for the time she'd already spent in custody.
I'm not one to talk about the justice system because in my opinion, I feel like a lot of that shit is literally like chitter chatter. If you do that to a baby, you shouldn't be able to get parole in 13 years. You should die. That's just me though. I'm naive, you know what I'm saying? Young, 23, so not really that young, but young enough to claim naivety. So I can say this and I won't back down. If you do that to a child, bro, you deserve to die. And if I had the ability to make you die, it don't even seem, bro, she literally said that she did not care. Man, oh man, alright, enough of me. No, seriously, enough of me. It's been your boy Tribe Loui. Good day, good afternoon, good night, good evening, good morning, and most importantly, but unfortunately, goodbye, man. Goodbye. I will see y'all tomorrow. I will see y'all tomorrow. I love y'all. Gang, 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 gang. It's the end. Leave a like and share it to your friends and your kin. When I post a video, I'm gonna need y'all to attend. Thank you for the view, but I ain't done with you. 2023, I'm about to be Jordan with the flu. Yeah, join the tribe. Yeah, join the tribe. I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe.